Oh my gosh, you said motherhood is the best. I'm 20 and a mommy of 5. It's crazy, but I love it so much. Excited for your journey. Thank you, girl. That makes me so happy. I love that for you. As a teen, can you give me advice on parties? I'm going to my first one. First of all, use your own judgment and don't let anyone influence you. Don't let anyone peer pressure you. If you don't want to do something, don't feel bad about saying no. And if you feel uncomfortable, leave. 2, make sure you have your location shared with someone. If it's not your parents, at least your close friend or just someone else that you trust that's not going to be at that party. Someone else needs to have your location. You need to tell someone when you arrive, when you leave. Don't accept drinks from anyone. If you do drink, do not leave your drink somewhere and come back and drink it. If you do drink, I wouldn't even, to be honest, I would honestly just say don't drink at a party. If you're a teen, I would say don't drink at a party because it could be spiked. You don't know what people's intentions are. I'm in mom mode right now. Oh my God. But again, I know how it is being a teenager. So if you do decide to drink, do not let anyone else make your drink, and don't leave your drink, and don't accept drinks. Have a ride. Make sure you have someone responsible driving. Don't drink and drive. Please don't drink and drive. Call an Uber. Please call an Uber. I will call you an Uber. Call an Uber. Someone that's completely sober needs to be driving. It's better if someone that's not even at the party can just pick you up and drop you off, to be honest. What else? Y'all, what else? Let's give her advice. That's why I said, though, like, I know what it's like to be a teenager. And at the time when my mom or whoever was in my ear with these things, I'm like, girl, please. But be somewhat responsible, please. Just be safe. Be aware of your surroundings. Because I was in some scary situations from not listening and not being around the right people. And yeah, if anyone gets into a fight, move far away from that, because you just never know what someone got on them or how someone's gonna act that's around you. But biggest rule, someone said biggest rule, never put your drink down, never leave your girlfriends ever. If you gotta go to the bathroom, have a partner. Like, I mean, girls mostly do that, but especially at a party, have a partner with you for everything. And you don't have to drink to have fun. Someone just said that, and I agree. Because now as an adult, I appreciate having fun sober. And of course, having a drink every now and then is cool, okay? It's a vibe, but you don't have to drink to have fun. I think that a lot of the times that I would drink was to be social, because I'm just such an awkward person, and it helps me be more outgoing. But genuinely, just go with your good friends, vibe. You don't have to get fucked up. You don't have to get drunk. Like, you can drink and still be cute and classy and not be drunk. And honestly, if you also just don't want to seem not cool, like, I know how it is at that age, or people are being aggressive or just keep putting drinks on you, fake it, girl. Fake taking the drink. Okay, you can get a drink and do some fake sips, or not really swallow it, or I don't know. I always was the little cheers. Like, I always used to do that. I always used to toss my shots. Yeah. Or I think it's fun, though, at that age to, like, pregame. If you're going to drink, do it in a safe environment in one of y'all's houses. Don't go overboard, and pregame before you go. So you could have a little something, but you don't have to feel the pressure of drinking there. And you don't have to go completely, like, scared. But I would just say completely don't do it. But if you're going to do it anyways, that's my advice. So you said, when they realize the floors, but what do you do? I mean, I never did it directly on the floor. Like, if we're just all in a corner, like, I'll do it behind me. If I'm sitting down, like, not where people are going to be walking. But Yeah. Be like, I'm allergic to alcohol. Some people don't give a fuck. The amount of times, not even times, just like even when being younger, I was peer pressured 24/7. People used to make me feel so bad about not wanting to smoke, not wanting to drink. I never judged anyone for it, but I've just always been good at saying no. If I don't want to do something, I'm not going to do it. And for the rare occasions where I did just feel awkward or, yeah, I would fake it. So, and it's easier than you think to fake shots. It's easy. Advice on birth control. What's your opinion on it for women in their early 20s? I feel like this topic can get a little iffy because I know a lot of people have strong opinions on birth control. I'm going to be very vague, but I was on birth control as a teen and like when I was younger. When I lost my virginity, my mom immediately put me on it. And I was on it for a while, and then I think once I wasn't under her roof and I couldn't get covered for it anymore, or I don't even know what happened. No, actually, because then when I first got my own insurance, I still had it. Basically, I'm for it. I think that if you're young and you're sexually active, you should get on birth control. You should, because it's just less of a risk. Especially if you're just young and you're not in the position to, you know what I mean, have that responsibility. But I also feel like do what you're comfortable with doing. Again, in the topic of peer pressure, just because it works for someone else or doesn't work for someone else, or someone has a strong opinion about it, don't let that persuade what you want to do. It's your body. And unless you're underage and under someone's roof, then that's another conversation. And that's when you need to kind of figure that out with them. And hopefully you have a close adult that can help you with that. But I would advise it at a young age, especially if you're young and sexually active. There's nothing wrong with being on birth control. Protect yourself, you know? But what was the question? Just my opinion on that? Yeah. But I will say, as me being older now, this is just going to be so controversial. Just me getting more into health and learning about ingredients and what's good for your body, what goes in your body, what affects your body as a woman. Getting educated on it, I personally wouldn't maybe get on it now. Like, obviously I'm pregnant. Let's just take me being pregnant out of the equation. Because of what it can do to you as a woman. Yeah, that's all I'm going to leave this at. Because I don't want to go into a whole nother dimension in this conversation. But to keep it short, as a teen, you should definitely get on it if you're having sex. But as an adult, when you're more responsible, just educate yourself on it, because it does have a lot of long-term effects, and I personally don't want that on my body. But then again, if you're not going to be on birth control and you're not ready for a child, you have to be responsible too. So it's just a heavier thing that you have to educate yourself on. And again, if you're not, I mean, I know I don't need to say this, but just being raw and real, no pun intended. If you're not on birth control and you're having sex, make sure your partner knows that. Yeah. Make sure you tell them you're not on birth control. Irritating, but you stopped. Yeah, at the time that I stopped, I think I just didn't have coverage for it anymore. And then I started to educate myself on it. I was friends with a girl at the time that was way older than me, and she was very health conscious and, like, you know, one of those very holistic type of woman. That was her vibe, and she was just very against it, just like telling me all the things that it affected. And then I started doing my own research, and that's how I kind of made the right decisions for my body. But yeah, you can get pregnant with birth control too, but it highly decreases the risk. So but it's possible. I will say, when I was on it, I've only ever gotten on, is it the depot shot? Is that what it's called, y'all? I know there's so many different forms. That was the only one I ever did when I first got on it, from my mom making me get on it, and then from just being an adult, because I was just already used to it, and I think my body was already used to it. I had friends and family that did the pill, and that always scared me, because they were like, if you miss, you have to take the pill at the same time every single day, and if you miss it and then you have sex and, you can immediately get pregnant. So I felt that the depot shot was the easiest thing to maintain, and I never had any side effects from it. I know some people have had different experiences, or weight gain. I never had any side effects from the depot shot. But it was just easier, because I don't have to worry about keeping up with it. You don't have to take it every day. I also at the time didn't like swallowing pills. When I first got on, I was like 18. Yeah. And now I can do vitamins and all that, and I'm good. But it was just the most maintainable. I think you need to explore all options and weigh out the pros and cons and the possible side effects of each, because some they say you gain a lot of weight, some they say you don't. Then the ones they say you do, sometimes I know people that lost weight. So it really is just your body. You have to learn what works for it. And I think as a woman, that's something we should all do and research and educate ourselves on, because everything is going to be different for every woman, whether it's skincare, makeup, pills, vitamins, foods, like it affects all of our bodies so differently. Women are just magical creatures, And yeah, you honestly have to kind of experiment, but I feel like doing research and really talking to professionals that are knowledgeable about it and going off of that helps before you just try something. So, but yeah, you're right. You said birth control is like any medication. It has side effects. You have to figure out what works for you. 100%. 100%. With anything, there's side effects. There's even just skincare, like back to that. I obviously talk about a lot of products I use. And even when I get paid, y'all, I think this is something that people probably don't believe. But when you guys see me posting promos, I only post and sign contracts for brand deals that I personally have tried the product already and liked it, or it's a product that I was already using. And I would say 80% of my brand deals are from the brand already seeing that I use their product, because they'd rather pay me knowing that I'm an authentic customer than just paying someone to make shit up and say they like it and it not work. I've turned down so many deals because it was a product I either didn't believe in, it didn't work for me, maybe didn't like what they stood for, broke me out before. Like, I don't promote anything that hasn't worked for me. But with that being said, just because it worked for me, it's not a guarantee that it's going to work for you. But all of my opinions are coming from a place of experience. So I will say that when you guys see me post my brand deals, it's because it did work for me or I did really like it. But if it doesn't work for you, it might just not work for you, And that's more so for skincare. Like, obviously, when we get into perfume and different things, that just differs on preference. Like, I talk about Vanilla Skin from Fleur every time I'm on social media, lives, whatever. And every now and then I'll get someone that's like, I don't like the smell, or it's cheap, or whatever. I love it. It smells so good to me. But again, that's a preference. Ooh, should we talk about acne? Y'all are in my lane right now. Like, this is my element. I don't know. Do any of y'all know? If you're new followers, you probably don't. But my skin, I've had a journey with my skin. I do not naturally have amazing skin. I don't. And I don't have amazing skin now. I just think that I'm older and I use better products and better ingredients. That's it. And even though it seems like I use a lot of things, I don't use that many actives. Like when I was younger, I had